Now we have talked about majority of all these guys. Okay, these ones that for this animation is for advanced animation. It's like majorly for rigging, for riggers, and some other things. And this one, this Windows, is actually talking more on all these different things that we have here. Okay, node view, node library. You are noticing all these things. See color here, the color that we have here. See it here. All right. So let's talk about the tools with a little bit of practical. All right. So the first one that we have is the select tool. The select tool. In this tool property now, I select when I select a tool, this tool property is going to change. You understand? Okay. Let's go to cutter tool. You see cutter tool. You see it changed here. Select tool. You see it's changing. Cutter tool. Select tool. Let me just switch within these two for now. Cutter tool, select tool. You see it's changing. Now the reason why this one looks like rope, like the what is it called now? The select tools symbol looks like rope is because this is what you selected. This is what was selected by default. This first one, you see select two options, right? Select two options. Now the first one there is the same thing with what you are seeing on the workspace. This particular symbol is the same symbol that is here, and this symbol is called freehand, like you are doing like a like lasso kind of freehand selection. You understand? But when you come here and you change it, you see lasso, they say lasso, right? The lasso is freehand, like freehand selector. But when you go to marquee and you click on it, you notice that the symbol of the select tool have changed. You notice to a normal click that we have, right? So now if I do this, this is how you now select. You see it's drawing like a rectangle, squarish kind of, right? So now that you now have that, you can now understand that if you have a rectangle on the screen like this, let me just put it in different places, right? And you want to select it, and you come to this one, and you are using your marquee, and you select, and you want to select this one, and this one. You can see it's difficult to select like this, right? Because it's selecting something you don't want to select. Now, but let me color it so it will be more intriguing. All right, let's color this black, white, red, green, right? Now you now use your marquee. You now select. Now I want to select all this one now. Another way you can do it with the marquee tool that's under the select tool is you can click down on your shift. Is it shift or control? Let's try shift. Shift, click this, okay, and click this. Do you see? You understand? What of if you don't use your marquee tool? If you use your lasso tool, you can just do this without stopping. You can just come like this, and come like. You see? You understand? So that's the difference, right? That one now you have to always press shift to like select a specific number of them. But this one now, you just need to select like just go around the objects. Do you get? So I'm really used to my lasso tool. All right. So let's now talk about select again without the tool property for now. So now let's go back to our select tool. I come here, I draw out a shape, right? I color it, let's say blue, right? See what happened when I come to my select tool and I click on this. The select tool has some functionality. All right. The select tool, what it does is it selects your object for repositioning. You can see, you can click and reposition. This is repositioning. So under select tool we have number one, repositioning. Okay, repositioning. Number two, scaling. Do you get? You can reduce the shape and you can increase the shape. Scaling. All right. Number three, fixed scaling. Now fixed scaling is when you click down on your shift. You click down on your shift to create the illusion that all the sides are moving at the same time. Are you getting it? Without distorting the shape. So without making it look like this. You understand? Look elongated, basically. So you click on your shift. Your shift is going to fix that same shape, right? Proportional to themselves. So it's going to fix it. You're going to carry it up, coming down like that. So even though you are moving this guy up and down, like the movement now, it's still going to fix that shape like that. It's going to snap it together. All right. But if you don't click on shift, what's going to happen is that when you move it like this is what you could have. You understand? So it's not a fixed shape. So it's going to be distorting that particular shape any which way. Okay. Now, number 4. Okay. You can also use your select tool to rotate around an anchor point. Okay. These anchor points can be moved to different angles. Let me undo this. Let's move the anchor point to the corner. Let's say, for instance, you want to do something like this. Sorry. Okay. So at this point, you want the shape to be up like this. Hope you are not tired. Okay. And at this point, let me make it interesting so you will like this one. Let's do this. Let me create a new drawing layer. Add and close. I'll put this one under. Now let me put this red shape in this place. Let me cut it and put it in this drawing layer underneath. Okay. If, for example, you are feeling somehow, let me know. Okay. So that I can. You are feeling sleepy. It's the flu. The flu is going to be affecting you small, but the Lord is your strength. All right, now the pivot point is around here. Let me put it here at this edge here. I'm going to come to the front a bit and break this into 2. In the timeline, there's something we call under drawings, duplicate drawing, Alt Shift D, right? I'll click on it. I've split it into two different drawings. Now I'm going to take this, put the pivot at this point, right? The second drawing, and shift it like all the way down, so that we can now have something like this, right? So I'm going to shift this one forward. Now I'm using animation, right, to teach you how to use the select tool during animation. You understand? So now I'm going to come to frame 10 again. See, I shifted that second drawing from frame 10. I shifted it all the way to like frame 60, or let's say 50, right? Now the second drawing is on 50. It's telling the story. What's happening? The drawing is coming from here and landing on the table. Okay. So now in this place, I'll go to 10. I'll duplicate this one. I've duplicated it. I'm not going to move the pivot again to that center, to that angle, and move it like this. All right. So this is what I'm having. Go to 20. Duplicate. Anchor point at this angle. Let me move it very well. Move. 30. Duplicate. Anchor point. Angle. Move. Okay. But I want it to be closer to the ground here. So duplicate. Anchor point. Angle. Move it a bit closer to the ground. So see what I now have. You see that? Let me loop it. see that? All right, let's make it faster. You remember I told you when you get the frames closer, what happens? The animation becomes faster, right? So I'm making it like, I'm trying to make it like close to maybe um just 1 second is fine. 24 frames. Just space it out a bit. Okay, let's try it out again. Then I'm going to stop here and loop it. Play. See that? Okay, what if I delete this one? Let's delete this one. And it just jumps down to the floor. Right? Let me loop it. Play. Okay, you see it's a bit faster. So it's showing you that the object, this box, has more width, right? Now let's leave this animation and move to another thing that this thing can do. Now the select tool, I'm going to use my lasso tool. Remember my lasso tool to just lasso it, right? I'm going to now reduce this side. Click down on your alt to reduce both sides. Do you get? Bless you. You click down your alt to reduce both sides, alt to increase both sides here. Do you get? But I'm just going to reduce this side, and I'm not pressing down on alt again, but I'm just going to drag this up to maintain the same volume. So this is what we now have, right? It's longer here, it became normal here, right? So I'll do the same for this. I'm going to take this, let me rotate it a bit. Rotation is Control and Alt together. Rotation is Control and Alt together. So all these shortcuts that I'm teaching you, please try and pen it down and write in front what it's for. Alright? Because it will be of great value to you moving forward. Okay? So see, I've rotated it, and I want to increase this guy. Okay, I want to increase this, reduce this, bring it down a bit. Okay, see, so what I'm doing now is that I'm doing something they call morphing. I'm morphing it to come back to its original shape. Use alt for both sides. All right, let me now to reset the workspace. What are the shortcuts? So what is the select tool used for? The select tool is used to select your object on the screen. All right, let me just add a drawing. Let me add a drawing. Add and close. So the select tool is used to select lines or areas of drawing for cutting, copying, deleting, recoloring, repositioning, scaling, rotating, different things. Let me give an example. I'm going to draw a shape here, right, and color it with this. So this is color. Wherever you see this small arrow underneath, this small white arrow underneath any of these tools, all right, that means that when you click it down, you have other options as well under that particular tool. So in this select tool now, when you click on it, you have something like this, right? You can easily come here and color it, paint. But there are other things under that same color bucket. This is like paint bucket too. Okay, and you can come and color it with another color. Since this is our color palette area, okay, you can come select a color, any color here. So ensure that there's always this color here. select this color, this green, and paste. So it's just very easy. So you just create the shape and color inside. So the when I created the shape, I created with black line or black color. That's this black, and I painted with this one. So I use this one to do the black line. The line is called a line. Are you getting it? It's called a line. While the color inside is called a fill. So let me write it. So this is called a line, and the one you fill inside is called a fill. Do you get? So now let me remove that. This is the fill inside and the line outside. Okay, so it's easier for me to now come in, take a color, and go to my buckets and paint it. Now the next one, or let's talk more on the select tool. As we said it's used for color recoloring. If you want to recolor, let's do the first one for cutting. So you can cut it, you can cut it like this. You can duplicate it, that's Ctrl C, Ctrl V, okay, to copy. Or you can select it, you can use this your select tool to also select, right? You can use your select tool to also duplicate. Click down on your control and you click on it and you move. See, it becomes many different types of the same shape, right? So now what else is it used for? Used for scaling, for deleting. Click on it, delete on your keyboard, you delete. Undo, Ctrl Z to bring it back. Then what else is it used for? It's used for repositioning. You can reposition it here. You can see how the way I'm clicking on it and it's moving. Okay. Then what else? What else can you do with it? You can scale it. You can scale it from here. You can see it's scaling anyhow because I'm not pressing shifts. Is it shifts? Yes. Yeah, because I'm not pressing shifts, so it's not scaling properly. But if I press shift, it's going to scale properly, scale up and scale down. It's going to scale both edges, that's this line and this one, to maintain that particular shape. All right, and you can change the color. It says for recoloring as well. You can click on it like this and come here and change the color. You can also change the color for the line as well.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can, sir. You understand? So that's what basically you can use your cutter to do. Move it around, cut it out, trim it, right? Trim this part as well. Maybe I'll trim this one too. You see? Something like that. So yeah, so that's basically it. That's what you can use your cutter to do. So now that's for cutter. So I won't teach this one yet until we start working, reposition or drawing. So that one involves many frames. Okay, let's leave that one for now. So the next one that we would like to teach is this guy, contour editor. Now you say it's used to scale. You can use it to reposition. You can use it to rotate. Select anchor points, basically. All right, that define vector lines or areas. So let me explain what that means. Every of these things that you are drawing, let's come here, rectangle 2. Every of these things that you are drawing has different points attached to them. But you can't know this way until you come to your contour editor. That's the first one, contour editor. There are other editors as well. Do you get? But we'll start with the contour editor. Now, if you look at this rectangle, it has a certain number of points. Okay, so how many points does a rectangle have? A rectangle have 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides, 4 points. So You can create more points by using your control. You press down your control, you add a point. Press down your control, add a point. And you can continue the process.
Okay.
Do you see?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You understand? And those points, you have the ability to move them about.
Okay. So, what's it mean?
Do you understand? And also, using, you can also delete points by clicking on them. Delete, 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 right? Delete. You can select multiple points with the same contour tool, oh, right? I've not left contour tool. If you go to select two, it's not going to show those points again. Oh, sorry, I went to cutter. If you went to select two, it's not going to show those points again. Do you get me? But when you go to your
Contour.
contour editor, yes, you have the ability to kind of move them around, right, and delete them as well. Select multiple, you can delete multiple,
And press delete.
and press delete on the keyboard. Delete, delete, delete. Do you get? So another thing you can do is when you select on a line with your contour editor, you can see it's turned the color to white. You see?
Yes.
That means you have selected it. But if you select just the point, it's not going to turn that line to white. It's going to remain as orange. Are you getting it? So the color is actually orange color. Let me zoom in. It's actually orange color. So that line, you can also delete it. If you click on this, delete on your keyboard. Do you see? So you just click on the line and you delete it. The same way we delete points.
And delete it.
Do you understand? Now, you notice that another thing that you can do is if you have these 2 points together, right, you can literally pull this guy up like this. Another thing you can do is if you have these 2 points, you can literally pull this line up like this.
Okay.
Click on the line and pull it up. That's basically what I mean. Click on this line and pull it up. What is happening is you can see I'm transforming this shape to a semicircular or a circular shape. So, but what's happening at those points is that it's creating something called the control vertices. These are control points or control vertices. Okay? Do you see what it's doing? It's creating some control points. So it is this same method that we use to create the face of a character. Let me show you what I mean. You see, it's in Jojo already
Yes.
with maybe ear or something. Ó ti di àwọn robot yẹn. You see. So that's an example of creating a character or how to create a particular character. Do you understand? So we use shapes like this with our contour to change it. So, but you notice there's no vertices here. There's no control vertices. I'm talking about this line.
Yes. Yes.
This line. How do you bring it out? You click on the control, the point, and you click on your alt. You click on your alt. You press down on your alt. You notice something even changed in the mouse. You see, it turned like circle in your pointer. It turned like circle and point as I'm pressing alt. I'm going to press it down. Click on this and drag it. See,
Okay.
the line now comes out. And you can also reorganize the line anyhow you like. You can use your cutter here to cut this. Come to your cutter and cut that like this. Okay? Then this one can also be a character.
Hmm. Scratch and stretch.
He says squash and stretch. Abi, the thing don't squash. I don't go squash the head. This can be a head of a person. Yeah, but a cartoon character basically. This is
Yeah.
most likely the hair.
Hmm.
Okay, and this can be the teeth, right? So that's basically it. Now we've talked about our contour, right? So as we go on, we'll know what else our contour can do. All right. So let me see what else can our contour do. Yeah. So another way you can also break this line. You notice that they are following each other. This line, they are following each other. You can break it with your alt as well. So click down on your alt. Click down on alt. You can see something has changed in the pointer again to like a V. Do you get? Click on this and you can bend it like this. You can add points and break these guys. You see? You can create anything. And how did I start? I started like this. You remember? I started with a rectangle. You get? So that's basically how you use your contour. So let's see center line editor. Center line editor is for brush. Brush. You notice this brush shape and brush here. You can see it's for brush. Why pencil editor is for pencil. You see?
Mm-hmm.
But contour editor is for everything. It's for both brush and pencil and line
Yeah.
and even I
Yeah.
think text as well. I'm not sure. Can't remember. So it's for anything. That's what contour editor is for. Anything. Then smooth editor is just to smoothen your line. Alright. Then perspective editor as well. Just to like put your I think your tool in perspective mode. Do you get? It just helps you put your tool in perspective mode basically. You get? So that's what it helps you to do. That's perspective. Perspective. Then did I teach? I don't really teach envelope because I don't use it. But let's try. What does it do? So it gives you this. Do you get? But you don't need it. You don't need it. Why? Because you can already do it. Do the same thing with this, with your contour editor. Do you get? Press down Alt, open it. You get what I mean? Like this. You just use your Alt to control it.
Network is
Okay. All right. All right. So yeah. So that's that about this, about the contour. So I said the next one is a brush tool. So now your brush tool, this is your brush tool, right? So you have it's similar to that of pencil because look at brush tool, look at your pencil tool. You get? You can see that it's the same, it's similar. Now, but in all these tools that you are selecting, there's something changing in this place, which is called the tool properties. Is on your software by default. It's open by default, right? So tool properties is the property of all the things you are writing, you are drawing here or designing or what have you. So when you select your brush, you notice that something changed here. You get? So when you select your brush, something actually changed here. You notice? You can now see different types of brushes there for brush tool, right? You can just play around with it, and also in this place there you see maximum size. which you can use to increase the size of your brush. You see? You understand? So in this one now, what we can do is you can come down here, solid brush like this. You see the size 25. Solid brush number 4, solid brush number 3, 15, solid brush number 2, 10, solid brush number 1, 5. Do you see? So from they only give you option of 1 to 10, 15, 25. That's for this particular solid brush. So you can increase that brush beyond the 25 to get something much more thicker. Do you get? But then when you keep going down, you see fixed width 1. You can see how tiny that is. Fixed width 10. Do you see? Fixed width means that both ends are the same thickness. Fixed width. You see, it's the same thickness. Compare it to solid brush that look like they tapered both edges. You notice? Like they tapered both edges, so it's different. So it's like you're having something like this. Do you see? Chuku chuku edge. Do you understand? All right. So now you can also see another one now. Soft lead. Soft lead. What does that mean? So you can have like a soft. Do you see how soft it is? Woo! You see? This one now you can use it to like draw some hair on somebody's head. Do you get? Then that's why having tablet is good, because now you can like bang 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 bang, just do all this thing. Then see this now, you can now have this. Go to 15. It's too big. You see? Can use something thinner. You understand? But see the hair. Do you see? So very important. The eyebrow. Forgot eyebrow. All right. So now you can go down, explore more. You have ink brush. Do you see? You have wax crayon. You have ball paint, ball point. Oh, sorry. Okay. You have airbrush. See airbrush 95. Wow. You go big on. See airbrush. Can use this one like to color the skin or something. You get? Color the hair as well. You understand? So it makes sense to just have something like this. See this one too. Soft shading. Soft shading. Wow. This is what I could have used for the skin. You get? Right. Soft shading. Then you have pastel. I love pastel for hair. I love pastel for hair. Like when you have, this is the eyebrow now. Let's see, I did something like this. Oh yeah, something like this. You get? Something like this. Then I'll just take this pastel, just shade inside. You get? As in, you can just play with plenty of them just to get, who knows, you might need some to do backgrounds or something. Just play with them. See this one, it just stars. You can increase it and use it. See, star, 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 star. You understand? So that's basically it for brush. Okay. So the next one is pencil, or let's go to the brush editor. Center line editor. That's the brush editor. You get? So the brush editor now, you can come here and click on this center line editor and move this like this. You see? Makes it really cool to work with. Can delete some parts. right? You can use the center line editor as well to just move it around. Okay, so the center line editor, now you can use it for the brush. Remember I said for the brush. Now for the pencil, what you can do now is, this is the pencil. Now you can increase the pencil as well. Do you get? But you can see anytime you draw with the pencil, it comes with an extra function. Let me reduce the size. Right, that extra function is center line smoothness. Why? Because when you come to your contour editor and you click on this, you see how many points you have here. Do you get? Like you have so much points. You understand? So much points. Do you get? But you want minimal points. So what do? You come here, you come to your pencil and you go to this center line smoothing. Do you see? Center line smoothing is what they wrote. Then you drag it a little bit, maybe 30 or 40. So I have the pencil line, right? But this time around there are fewer points. There are fewer points because of, I'm using the contour editor anyway. There are fewer points because of this center line smoothing. Okay, so the more you increase it, the more smoother your line is going to be. Okay, so we now have this. Now another way you can even smoothen it is by selecting everything like this and clicking on this. You can see the more I click on it, the more the line becomes under operations here in the tool properties. The more I click on it, the more that line, that crossed line, becomes almost straight line. Do you see? The more I go, if I keep going, it becomes more smoother and more smoother and more smoother. You see, the more I'm pressing it, it's becoming more smoother. Right, now we now have something like this, just 2 points only. All right, so that's what you can use your center line to do, and also your contour editor. Now another thing that you can use, this is pencil. Now this pencil we are working on, so let's try this pencil editor. Let's see. Ooh, so there are some extra things that you can do with the pencil editor. You see what I just did? And also to add these points in your what's it called now, pencil editor, you can come here and click on control and add more of those points. Do you get? You can play with these vertices as well. You can also break it, remember, with your alt. You can break it. See, I'm making like one can see creature. You understand? So yeah, so that's about that. All right, see something like this. You get? So you can do that as well. You understand? Woo, looks so awesome. All right, so do 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 do. Now let's go to the next one. All right. So the next thing that we have, that's for pencil editor we just talked about, and also here in the pencil editor, when you click down on shift, you can move the both points at the same time, both up and down points. When you click down your shifts, all right. Now let's see the next one. We have smooth editor, right? Let's do this with our pencil tool, right? Let's see, pencil tool. Okay, we have something like this. This is our pencil tool. Let's now go to smoothing editor and just clean it like this. You notice the thing is becoming smooth as well. You understand? It's becoming smooth. The points are reducing, but you can't do that with, like, what will make it even work much better is if when you select it like this, you can come here and just click on this guy under operations for select tool now, and come and just click on this one on that particular line. So you can use this select editor, right? So select tool, sorry, to also bring up operations for it. The same way under your pencil, when you come to contour editor, under your for your pencil, when you come to contour editor, you can just select those points and keep pressing this, and it still keeps straightening out, and the point becomes 2 eventually. Okay. All right. So next one we have, I've talked about, and n. All right. That we have is the skew. Okay. We have the skew. Now, so we've talked about all the things that you can use your select to do. All right. Good. So keep that in mind. Now the next one that we have under that same tool is called the cutter tool. Now what the cutter tool is used to do is very, very interesting, because you can literally, using this same, remember the, what do we call this again?
The select tool
I know, but what do we call
this
it?
particular row.
Yeah. 0/10, 0/10, 0/0.
Confusing me.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. -20/10.
Is it quarter to
No, I will tell you. -25. It is called Macue and Lasso. This
I
part,
remember.
gone gone. Do you get? So you understand? So I get where your mind is right now. I get. I understand. That's why I'm here as a teacher, to bring your mind back. One on one is good for this reason, to always chop down those thoughts and bring you back. That's why I say faith cometh by hearing, hearing the word of God. When person they tell you say you get -20, you sharpen up. All right, because the test is coming and the test is over 50. Now that you are getting to -25, you should know your score. So you need to redeem yourself back. Shey get by reading the book that you are writing in. Because when I will come for you, okay. So your marks will not be based over 25 at the end of the day. All right now. So when you have your cutter tool, you can either
Can you spell the marker?
okay, the marker is MARQUE. That's double E. All right. So that's basically what it is. All right. So, and we have lasso as well. You know, the reason why I'm doing this is because we don't really have much time, right? It's just 2 hours. It's not like we have the whole day. If we have the whole day now that we are talking back to back, it's fine, you know. But so we have to pick as fast as possible, right? I understand. That's why I said there's a lot going on in an adult's mind, especially adults. Children is much easier because they don't really have much they are thinking. They don't have responsibility. But you are thinking of school, you are thinking of this, think you don't marry, thinking of your husband, what you will eat in the night, how you give him massage, how he will give you massage, different things happening, the tea you will drink, where you will go for to buy groceries. There are always a lot in the mind. So that's why I'm here. I'll make jokes, I'll do a lot of things to bring you back home. All right, so you're welcome back. Now, so now cutter tool, you can use any one of these two, lasso or marker. As I said, marker is more like you are doing shapes, you are drawing rectangle and square shapes. Okay, so now I want to cut this one now. So see, I'm going to do like this. It has selected it already. You can see it still left that like a green box there. This green box is the cut. So when I press delete on my keyboard, see what happened. You right? So it has cut out that shape. Delete, delete, delete. I usually use this to create some buildings. Like maybe I need like a background building or something. Do you get? I can use it to create buildings. You understand? So now let's use the other parts of the, or the others, cutter tool option. Let's use lasso. How is lasso like? Lasso helps you to do a fine clean cut of a shape, of like an irregular shape. Do you see?
Can you spell the last one?
Lasso is Lasso. Lasso. Okay,
Okay.
Lasso, lasso. All right. Now you could see this. I can delete from here. I can delete this. Looks like like an eye or something, and like mouth. You understand? A nose, triangle nose. You see? So it really makes sense. You get for like just deleting random things like that. Okay, what else can we cut? When you have your line like this, let me make it white so you see it. Can you see it like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have something like this, and you use your cutter. You can literally just cut some places out like this. Do you see? See the way I'm reducing the side. I'm just doing like a circular drawing. You understand? To cut out the shape. Yeah. So that's basically it. You see? But now, if I want to like just, let's say I'm working on something, I want to draw a triangle. This is another way you can use your cutter to properly see. This is the triangle in the center.
Mm-hmm.
But these are like some extra gbogbo niche that you don't want. So you use your cutter to do like this. See, oh, you can do this. Boom. Do you see? You just draw a line to cut the line, right? You move from here and you just draw a line like this. Do you see? And it's going to cut it out.
Yeah.
So you come like this, you cut it out. You come like this, you cut it out. You come like this, you cut it out. Perfect triangle. You understand? So
Okay.
don't worry. Don't worry, yeah. Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. You want to collect your marks back. You are looking for a way to collect your marks back. Hey. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Alright. So you know it's the same thing you can do here too. You can just use your um lasso for cutter. Do you get to cut it like this? You understand? So that's basically it. So now, and also you can bite from this too with your lasso. Just cut it out like this. You see? You understand? And do like a cheese shape, basically. All right. So now that we have that, we can now let's see what else can we do with our cutter. Okay, so as we go, as we use it, we would know where else we can use it and where else we can't. All right. So now the next one that we'll talk about now is normally supposed to be repositioning all drawings, but you don't need that now. It's when we start doing, we will still use it, but it's when you start doing an actual test that we are going to use it. All right, because that one means that we are already we have already learnt the timeline, and we've known how to use the frames. So it's with the frames that you now use to reposition all drawings. Give us to it too now. Okay, oh, this is where. Do you understand? Okay, so now this one they call it contour editor. Okay, contour editor. Now contour editor, contour, English word, editor, another English word, contour editor joined together. All right. So now when you have a contour, when you have a line like this, do you get this line or any drawing has something we call nodes, or you can call it points. Okay. Now when you come to your contour editor, that's the first one, this white one here, and you come to this and you select this line, you will notice like a white box, a white stuff here. Oh, sorry, I say white, like orange,
Okay.
right? When you select it, you notice like it turns white kind of. When you go to this one at the back here, because it's not selected, it's still orange in color. Do you get? So now you can come here, you can see even when you zoom out, you can still see the white beaming there and the orange beaming in this place. Now contour editor enables you to create contours like this. Do you see? What I did was I just clicked on this line edge and I dragged it up. Okay, contour editor, click on this line, draw it down. Click on this one, drag it, drag it, drag this, drag this. Cutter tool, cut, 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 cut. Do you see? Click like this, cutter tool, cut, cut, right? Drag like this, cutter tool, cut, cut, alright? Pencil tool, draw this, bless me, bless you. You know, the tongue, feel inside, feel the teeth, feel the teeth. What is this? What does this look like? A mouth. Do you see? You see what I, how many shape, what did I do? I didn't even do much. So now, we now know that when you use your contour editor, you can select a line and distort it up or distort it down. Okay? Or even move it to the side. You see? I'll just click on that line and just be moving it around. You understand? I'll click on the line and move it around. You see? You see? So, but what is making this thing bend like this? When you come back and now select this edge, this node, right? You notice there's something that appears like another line. Now, this line is actually called the control lines. Alright? Control lines. So what are these called? What are these called? The nodes. Okay, oh, 20. Minus 20. You have tried. Minus 20. Ngbana. Okay, do you get? So now you can, what do we call this?
Control.
Okay, so now this control, you can actually drag it like this and drag this one too like this to create like an S shape. You understand? And use it to form anything. What did I do? What's this?
Flower.
You get? So there's no end to the creativity of what you can use. Okay, what I just did now, you remember I told you just click and drag this thing. You understand?
Yeah.
But you could also use your alt, click down on your alt to drag out the control. You use your alt to drag out the control from that node. Use your alt to drag out the control from the node. Right? And have something like this. Let me give it a face. No be so then they do for children book. Right? Yeah, so the beautiful thing now in this software, you can animate it, you can make it move. Okay. Yeah, so now let's try other things with this contour editor, because this is very important, very important. Let's try another shape. Let's say we have a rectangle and you want to make this an irregular shape. You can come to your contour, click on everything has points. Okay, everything you draw here has points. Use your alt to drag out the control vertex. You can see that it is now having two controls, right? You can also use your alt to break, because now it's not broken, because when you move this one, it moves the one on top. Do you get? It's not broken, like they are all joined together, like a straight line control stuff. So but now you can actually use your alt to break it. Do you see? A circle is also a collision of different points. Do you see the points? So you can use it to you see? You can literally do anything now. So animators are small G gods playing as in doing like God basically, because you are giving life to things that was never alive. You are creating ideas. You are bringing out ideas from your head and you are putting it there, or you are copying ideas basically, and and like transforming that copy to something else. Do you get? Because you might have seen something like this somewhere before, or you are copying what God have created basically. Because most of these things you can see them around, then you now copy it and you animate it yourself. All right, bless you. All right, so now okay, so let's move on. So now we can, so that's what contour editor. Now let's, for example, another way you can use contour editor, you have a shape like this, and for rectangles or square you have just 4 points. For ellipse you have what, 6 points, Abby? Is it 6? 8 points. 8 points actually. So you have 1 2 3, oh I've removed one. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8 points. But then you can add more points using your control. Using your control. Okay, so what part of the keyboard do you need to press to break controls? So now what part of the keyboard do you press to add points, to add nodes? So now, as I explained earlier, rectangles has how many points? Or squares has how many points?
Square have
4 points. Okay, good. As they have 4 sides, they have 4 points, right? Now, when you click on a part of the line, you know, normally you can move the line like this, right? So before I do that, I now come to this line, I zoomed in a bit, and now click down on my alt. You know, notice something is changing as I'm clicking down on alt. I'm pressing alt.
Yeah.
You can see it's changing to like a plus, a cursor with a plus. So you click down on it and click on that edge. Wherever you click on the edge, a point is going to appear. Okay? Wherever you click, a point is going to appear. And to delete those points, all you need to do is click on the point and press delete on your keyboard. Boom, the point will disappear. So assignment number 1, create 5 shapes, okay, and using contour editor, distort those shapes to form something unique. Using contour editor, distort those shapes to form what did I say? Unique what? To form unique shapes, basically. Like something unique, something different from what you, the square, the rectangle, the ellipse, the line. Use your contour to form unique things. I want to see your creativity in it. And color it. Plus color it. Alright. Plus color it. Alright. So now, as I said, to delete, let's continue. To delete that point that you created, because I've been creating different points since. Okay. To delete points, you click on it and you press delete on your keyboard. Click on it, delete, 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 delete. So we are back to original. Alright. To multi-delete, if you want to delete multiple, you just select it like this. Remember your lasso tool and you click delete and you have your shape back. Alright. So, but also another way to delete is, let's say for example you have a curve like this and you have many points. Okay. Another way to delete all these points, maybe you don't want to select it like this, you are tired, blah blah blah, is you will take a side of, a side of the, let me change the color of this thing. You will take a side like maybe around here and you wiggle it. You wiggle it like like you are wiggling it. You will notice that when you wiggle it, almost all the points will disappear except that place you wiggled it from. You understand? So that's another way to remove all the unnecessary points that are just there. It's good to, when you go to file or edit preferences, you will notice that there are some default colors here. You see, replace colors, view, current view, border. There are some things that are just default. Right? There are some things that are just default color. So that one is always going to be orange. If you check here, you notice there are some places where we have some colors and they are just there and you cannot change them, blah blah blah. Right? It's the same thing with what we have here. So it's still going to be orange. You understand? Okay. So another thing you can also do with your contour editor, right, is when you click on that line like that, you can delete it. Do you see? So it's not just the points that you are deleting. It's not just the points you are deleting now. You can also take a side and just delete it. Delete it. Bless you. Now, you come here. See what I just did? I just created a bowl. I just want you to be very creative. Okay, another thing you can do with your, I just remembered, your select tool is you can duplicate a shape by pressing control down. All right, so I click down on control, click on this, click down on control and move. See, just keep moving, is duplicating. Do you get? So that's another way, that's another way to duplicate. Instead of doing this, copy paste. Do you get?
Yeah.
Copy paste. Instead of doing that, you can just highlight it with your select tool, click down on your control and do this. Okay, so which part of the keyboard do you press to create, and which tool do you need to select to create more nodes on a on a line?
That's your control editor.
Okay,
And you use alt.
you use what?
You use alt
To
to
create, not to break.
create, yes.
Are you sure?
So to create, you, yes, you use alt.
To
Then
create.
to, yes.
You use alt to break or to create. To break control on a node or to create nodes. I'm talking about to create nodes on a line.
Okay, to create nodes on the line. Mm,
-20. Yes, I'm back to -20. All right, so you use your control. You click down on your control.
yeah, you use, okay.
Do you see? You come to your contour editor. I want to add a node here now. You click down on your control. I've told you when you click down on your control, it's going to show you something like a plus stuff, and you click,
Yeah.
and you click on this. You add as many. You can add as many nodes as you like. You understand? Don't miss my class. Now you are in class, but
Yeah, but it seems like you say click on an edge to create a new node. So it's
no.
correct.
Click alt on what?
On the edge to create a node.
On the edge? No, it's not alt. You got that wrong. It's actually control. Change it to control. All right. Okay, so maybe you just heard me wrong. So I'll give you back your -18. It's fine. You understand? It's fine. All right. Now that you have this, this looks like a bowl of water, basically. You know, so like an orange bowl of water. Ha ha ha. Oh, awesomeness. Okay, yeah. So this is how I want you to just keep creating. All right. So the next one that we have is our let's leave pencil editor. Let's leave all these ones for now. Okay, let's do pencil editor. Pencil. This is pencil. Let's talk about pencil, then go back to pencil editor. This is our pencil. You draw a line like this. Like, yeah, I'm drawing something. Woohoo. Do you get? Now, what you're gonna do now is come to your pencil editor. Click on that pencil. You see what happened? Do you see? It's created like some double nodes. Don't forget, this is a node. You understand? All these things are nodes. It's created a double node on the edge of that line that you drew. Meaning you can move those things to create something like this. You see? Now, okay, another way to go about your pencil editor is when, as you are seeing this node, click down on shifts. It's going to influence this other node just adjacent to it or across it. So click down your shift and increase. See, it's increasing both at the same sides. Okay, it's increasing both at the same sides.
You mean when you use shift?
When you use shift, exactly, and you click on one, just one, and you now click on shift and you move it, it's going to move both sides. So what do you need to press to add more nodes control. So it's still control that works for anything called adding of nodes. All right. Contour works for everything. Sorry, I've trained a lot of people in Lagos, everywhere in this Nigeria. You understand? So I've even trained. I trained people in basement animation studios. I trained people in spoof animation studios, in Smith's animation studio, in Zero Gravity. So I am a trainer. So I'm sorry. I will pull you. I will stretch you. You can go back to the challenges of life when you leave my class. But when you're in my class, the challenges of my class is not more anyway, but it's also there. It's something that you have to like put your mind at. So definitely, I'm gonna stretch you, like I've stretched a lot of people in my lifetime. Maybe 5,000 by now, I'm sure. All right, so we're gonna continue, and now to delete these nodes, which part of your keyboard do you need to press to delete this nodes character? So this is how I start. Right? Then go to my editor. So only contour editor I use. Only. Then add points at some points. Cut. Delete. Use my control. Delete. This thing that I created here, that's why you use your tool properties. You notice that there's like a flat edge here and there's a circular edge here. Very easy to fix. You go to your select tool, click on it, go to this guy here, look for where you can use this under the pencil selection. Click on this, round up the edge. Click on this, round up the edge. Do you get? Click on this just in case there's like a sharp edge during the curve. You round it up as well. Do you get? So everything must be rounded up. So you have that. For the nose, come to this place. Yes. Curve it out. Like, what am I using to do this curve?
The contour editor.
Yes, I know. But what am I pressing on the keyboard to bring these guys out?
To bring
This control. If okay. So this one now. Or see. Then you start. Then the body also takes its own time. Okay. Yeah, stamp actually is like maybe you have it comes by default. It has some default things you can add to
Where
it.
did this come from?
It's like an inbuilt Toon Boom drawing. They've drawn it. Someone have drawn it there already, and you can change it here. I think you can. You should be able to change it here. I think the type of stamp. See, there's a dog as well. Yeah, there's a fish, and I think there's another guy there. You get. I think that's one, two, three. Or you could also use it like a reference, right? Maybe like a post standing post reference. So like this one now, you can just come and just do. You just all you need is the ref. All you need is the reference. Bless you. Maybe you just come, you do the. Let's use white, whatever. So you just do this. You do this. Like you want to get the pose, you know, standing like this. You understand? That's all you need. Maybe you just need the pose. Oh, sorry. Right? Like you just need that pose of the character.
Yeah.
Okay. Um you already understand what eraser can do, right? You already understand what eraser can do, right? Now there's text 2. When you select this text and you click on this, you can literally just type whatever you want to type. Do you get? Like do you get? So now you have something like this. Maybe you want to put it on someone's shirt or something. You can just compress it a bit, compress it a bit. You know. No drinking of alcohol in my class, please.
It's water. I'm not.
I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, so Jesus is coming soon. You can also do it like this, right? Okay, so that's it. That's for text. Now for paint, remember I talked about paint the other time. You can come, have a shape, right? Come to your paint. Let's have like 3 shapes. Let's put one here and one here. All right, let's put another type of shape, right? You come to your color, you put color here, you put this color here, and you put this color here. Or let's not put color in this one. Okay, so these 2 colors now, I said earlier that you can actually change them, right? You can change them to any color that you want to. So this is a huge saturation. Now there's the single wheel for color, and there's the multi wheel for color. When we get to color, I think tomorrow we're going to deal with it. Do you get? But now that you just know that you can change colors like this. Now another way you can also change your color is by using the gradient mode. See gradient here. All right, so now you can have 2 different types of color. This one can be yellow, while the other one can be like, sorry, this one can be yellow, while this one can be orange. You get, like sunset. You understand? Then you can see the shade in between. You understand? So now let's now go back to our contour to editor area. So how do you edit the color? Like how do you edit this gradient? You come to your contour editor, you go to edit gradient and texture, and you click on it. You will notice that you can actually change it here. Do you see? So I want you to also use this in your assignment. All right, this gradient stuff. So how do you use it? Come to your this blue. Now I want to change this blue. Double click on it, come to gradient, click on gradient here, Come to this guy, change it to any color, you know. All right. Then say okay or cancel. Just cancel it. It's already applied. All right. So now come to your gradient editor, click on it, click on that shape and edit it. All right. So that's that about that. Now that's for your color. Now there's something called ink. Bless you. There's something called ink. Ink is for only the line that you are creating. Remember, when we are creating a shape like this, I are drawing like this is called line. Okay. When you pour color inside, it's called the fill. So this is called fill, and this edge is called line. You understand? You see all this thing I'm teaching, it's going to make the assignment test very very sweet. Like you don't be sweating like, oh God help me, Jesus, oh God, this guy won't kill me, man. This guy will kill me, man. Do you understand? So this is the reason why I'm teaching you all this now, so that you don't have any ish when you are doing my tests or assignments or exams, right? Because there will be exams over 100. You understand? Then I'll now do aggregates in percentage. I told you that nobody has gotten above 7/10. I know why. You get why? There's a reason. There's a reason. All right, so let's continue. That's why those people they are trying their best to be very good. All right, so now that you have this, you can have something like this. All right, see all what we have done, for crying out loud, you know. So now you now want to change this line's color only. You can click on it and come here and change it to black, change it to this, change it to this. Like just click on it and like just change the color. Do you understand? You can click on the one inside as well and change it, do you see, to the colors you have created before. Okay. You can also remove the fill separate from the line like this. You see,
How did you do that?
you just click and remove. I didn't press any other thing. From the center, just click on the fill. You know, this is the fill, the one inside is the fill. Click and remove it. You can still come back again and fill it with another color. Do you see? And remove it again. You understand? You see where I put the arrow sef, it made like a indentation, make like an indentation. It said no, I was here, kind of sign, right? And you can, you know, just play around with it, do whatever you want to do with it, and you can keep filling and keep removing. Do you understand? All right, so um what's the next thing? Now the next one here that we have is paint unpainted, one that has not been painted before. Help us paint it. So you click on it, you select a color. Which one has not been painted? Shebi this has been painted. Click on it, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Why? It has been painted. Click on this one, it has been painted. Abi? Right? But once you come to the one that has not been painted and you click on it, see what happens. It paints it. Alright? So now, what's this one? Repaint. The next one, repaint. Okay? So the repainting on is you want to convert this color to another color. Yeah, so you click on it, I've changed this, click on this, I've changed this, bless you. But when you want to paint an unpainted place, it won't paint because it says repaint. Then now there's unpaint, places that has been painted before, you want to unpaint it. You click on this, it disappears. Everywhere you have painted before, you want to unpaint it. That's unpaint. So it's like a cancel. Do you get? Like you are removing all the paint. You can also remove for the line. You understand? So your ink is also good for changing a color. Do you see? You see the way it's highlighting it. So you click on this, bam, it changes the color for you. All right. So now the last two things that we'll talk about is stroke and close gap. So stroke is not someone that has stroke. You understand? Stroke means like draw a line, but it's an invisible line. I'll say okay. I've created that line. Can you see it?
No.
Let me create another one. Can you see that? No, right? But I've created the line.
Yeah, it disappeared.
It disappeared, right? But let me now
Yeah.
paint. Let me paint.
Oh.
But it's there, but you cannot see it. It's an invisible line. But how do we see it? Now, this is a thing you have to write down. If you miss this one in my small test, how do you see an invisible line? By pressing a keyboard shortcut which is called K. When you press K, see what happens. Do you see that the line has appeared? Do you see the line? I put white at the background so that you can see it now. Okay? You understand? So you can literally use it to like, so you can use Toon Boom to create like logos, like some nice effects and the likes, right? Share with this what's it called? This letter K. Okay? So I'll press K again. Excuse me. You press K again to like make everything disappear. You notice, yeah, to hide it back. So you notice that even all these rectangles has that line in between. See, let me press K again. Look at it in between this rectangle. I'm pressing K on and off, on and off. Yeah. So it also works. So now almost all, what am I saying? All objects has an invisible line attached to it. You understand? All objects has an invisible line attached to it. Okay. So the next one now, the last one which we're talking about before we now start doing two properties later, is the close gap. Close gap. That's still under paint. Close gap. All right. So now you now draw it like this. You see, it's saying the same thing. That I can't see. You can't see. Do you see? Do you see it now? Close gap.
You
Uh,
use K for this one, Abby.
yeah, I use K to make it show. Do you get? Just to make it show. Do you get? But if I don't use K and I press K like this, we've cut this into like four already, but nobody knows, right? Because I've off the K. But when I on the K back, it appears. Then I can come in and color different places. Sorry, this is not. This is the rainbow color that Jesus gave us, not the nonsense that these people are publicizing. You understand? So yeah. So that's that about that, right? So now assignment two.
Sorry, before you move on. So what's the purpose of this last assignment?
So now the purpose of this last two is, let's say for example, you have let's say you have you can use it, just be creative with it anyway. So see, let me give you an example. So now it's based, everything is based on your own imagination now. Do you get me? It depends on how imaginative you are. That's how you will enjoy animation, basically. So now let's say you have a fish. By now you should have known where I'm going. Right? And you take your stroke. Where is it? Stroke. And you did something like this. And you now do this. Come. Will you not see this fish and say, Beautiful. Wow. Right? So press K to remove all those lines. Alright. What is this? Okay, it's this one has not closed up properly. So you can drag something like that just to cover it up. You see? So you can use it to do like some invisible, instead of you drawing a shape like this and now using your contour here to now start shaping it yourself, or using pencil to shape it. You get what I mean? You understand? Then you now start applying color instead of doing this, because now you don't want this line to show, maybe, right? You now have to come back and delete this again. You understand? So that kind of thing. So it just works. And also the reason that contour works when what was it I say contour, that stroke works when maybe maybe you have a shape like this, and by mistakenly you cut this one and you don't want to join it together, right? So there's this big space there. So you now carry that your stroke, right, and you now connect this one like this. You know it's invisible. You understand? So now, because you have connected it, you can fill it up. Do you see? So without using the black, now you are doing that without using the black to start doing this. You understand? Can just do that. And also, when you have something invisible like that, lastly, when you have something invisible like that, you can literally do anything. Maybe like you see? Yeah. Alright, assignment. Using all the tools, every single tool, create 10 different dynamic shapes